I'm delighted to see each of you here tonight in spite of a storm warning. You reveal that you are determined to go on anyhow. Something is happening in Memphis, something is happening in our world.
Earlier, while on the phone with Coretta, he told her he wasn't even gonna speak tonight.
I don't think I'm gonna speak tonight.
When Ralph called him and told him that the people were looking for him,
Okay, alright.
he said, alright. So he spoke of choosing his time to live, sanitation workers sneezing and being with God. And he told the people that he had been to the mountaintop and how he had seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He stepped away from the podium, and the people screamed and applauded his diction. He couldn't help but notice the friction in his chest and the significance of the words that he spoke with such conviction. The gloomy predictions that he had set before himself, they just kept swirling around in his brain as they each loaded themselves back into the limousine and they headed back to the Lorraine. So heavy like bricks, he was in room 306 that he dealt with the pain. And he did that by focusing on the poor people's campaign. It was the reason why he had came again. That night he fell asleep to the sound of rain. The next day when he awoke, he remembered the words he spoke, but the mission was to make the rally everything that they had hoped. So he set aside his gloom and all his visions of doom, and he worked through the afternoon, mainly staying inside of his room. It was him, his best friend Ralph, and Ralph's brother A.D. They sat and they had lunch discussing how the rally would be. And as each of his partners came through, his heart started feeling light. And when Andrew came through the door, they had a pillow fight. And though he did not know who to trust with all the pressure on his mind, he still found the time to let his smile shine. After that, he reminded all of them that they were gonna have dinner that night at Billy Kyle's house, and they proceeded to all get right. Then at about 5:45 in front of room 306, that's when he saw Jesse and he told him he wasn't dressed quite right. And Jesse said he ain't need a tie, all he needed was his appetite. And they stood waiting for Ralph, but before his friend came out, Billy Kyle stepped to the side, and that's when the shots rang out. Everyone began to panic and started pointing in different directions, trying to pinpoint where the sound had come, where the bullet had flew from the weapon. He had a hole under his chin, and out came running Ralph, and knelt down by his friend and placed his head on his lap. And he told him everything would be alright, though he knew that it was bleak. And Martin tried to talk, but Martin could not speak. And over him stood Merrill McCullen, an undercover cop. And to this day we do not know who was responsible for the shots. Yeah, they say James Earl Ray, but it could have been the coppers. And even more disturbing, it could have involved his partners helping out the government with a military shooter. CIA, FBI, headed by J. Edgar Hoover. On April 4, '68, they shot down the king. But I'm saying this to let you know that they could not kill his dream. And though some out there may be blind and cannot see the process, I made a vow to my community to keep the revolution in progress. And I appreciate your selflessness, what you gave through your death. And tell me, what do you call it when a man gives up his breath? And what greater love does a friend have when he gives his life for the people that he loves, there is no greater sacrifice.
I have a dream this afternoon that the brotherhood of man will become a reality in this day. With this faith, I will go out and carve a tunnel of hope through the mountain of despair. With this faith, I will go out with you and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. With this faith, we will be able to achieve this new day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing with the Negroes in the spiritual of all, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty.